The secret nobody is telling you about the chairman Wontumi EXIM Bank fraud. Hey, by God. Now, how many of us know who Chairman Wontumi is? Bernard Enchibosiakon. He just turned 50 years old. This is the self-styled rich man who destroyed our flora and fauna with Galamsey, who had the support of a sitting president at the time, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to play the buffoonery. For him, education is not necessary. It's all about money and business. My brother, my sister, he went into our forest, destroyed the land, destroyed the flora and fauna, and he came on TV showing us how much gold he had been able to get from destroying our land. And when we started to complain, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo told us point blank, hey, this guy is not doing Galamsey. Today the courts have proven us right. Chairman Wontumi is in jail. Now, at the time, the punishment for Galamsey was only 3 years. But Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo wanted the whole Ghana to see that he was really serious about Galamsey. Remember what he told us. I will put my presidency on the line to fight Galamsey. We trusted him. They moved the threshold from 3 years of imprisonment all the way to 25 years imprisonment. What a serious government against Galamsey. Many were flummoxed. Some were cacophonized. Some sat back, looked around, and wondered if this was real. Nobody was actually caught in the web since this law was passed. Now, the first man to be caught in his own web, like the spider that is never caught in his web, this gentleman here called Bernard Enchibosiakon, aka Chairman Wontumi. He has been convicted of the crime and he's gone to jail. He's supposed to be in there for 20 solid years. First day in prison, he told prison authorities that he was diabetic, and for that matter, if he continued to be in prison, he would die. My brother, my sister, anybody he meets in prison, be it an officer or not, he will bow and greet you. Is this the beginning of humility for this overly braggadocious guy called Chairman Wontumi? My brother, my sister, this is Chairman Wontumi. Now, once we've been able to establish exactly who this guy is, let us go into the real action. Hey, now Chairman Wontumi is standing trial again. And this time round is about fraud and stealing from the EXIM Bank. Now, the EXIM Bank was brought into being by John Dramani Mahama in his last year of power. He exited and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo took over. 2016, the EXIM Bank went into action. It is a bank that is supposed to be able to help with investments, my brother, my sister, and much more. Oh my God. And Chairman Wontumi took advantage of this bank. He went to the bank, according to investigators, using falsified documents to get a loan from the bank. And he was supposed to use the money to start a certain farm project that was supposed to pick out Galamseyers from the Galamsey pits and redirect them onto the farms. He pocketed all the money without starting any farm. My brother, my sister, now new information is coming out that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and a couple of others had the opportunity to question Chairman Wontumi if he actually started the farm. And when they inspected the area that he said he was farming, they saw nothing and they were overly disappointed. But bad crooks, as they have always been, they never were able to prosecute Chairman Wontumi until the new sheriff came to town. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was gone and John Dramani Mahama came into being and action started. My brother, my sister, this is where the real story is. Now, Chairman Wontumi After investigators started chasing him, lied that he actually started the farm. They asked him if he was able to harvest anything. He said no, he couldn't harvest anything because pests disturbed the farm and destroyed all the crops that he had planted. That's one. He forgot that there must be some level of evidence. He took the people to the farm, and the day investigators followed him to the farm, he himself got lost 11 solid times before he arrived at the farm, his own farm. Go and show us your farm. Do you know that? Yes, they went, they got lost the first time, second time, third time, 11 solid times before they arrived at the farm. And when they arrived, he said, this is the farm. They saw an old 1970s kind of tractor that is no longer on the road, but it was on Chairman Wontumi's farm. The last time that tractor was sparked into action was probably 1980 or so. Number two, when investigators looked straight into Chairman Wontumi's activities, they realized that right after he took the loan of about 30 million Ghana cedis, he bought bulldozers. What did he use the bulldozers for? For the farm? Certainly not. He was using that for galamsey, according to investigators. He didn't employ anybody. He didn't try to pull away people from the galamsey pits as the Nana Addo government wanted to do, because it was said that so many people were doing galamsey because they had no other means of survival, no employment. So the government, in its own wisdom, said, you know what? Let us redirect the youth into farming. Wontumi take this money, 30 million, but he rather took the money and allegedly pushed it into the same galamsey that the government was trying to run away from. Now, my brother, my sister, let us refresh your memories a little bit, and you will see exactly what we are looking at. Come here. Come here. Round the doors here and watch exactly what Chairman Wontumi did with EXIM Bank. Watch. Bernard Ntwibo, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, is currently facing a high-profile criminal prosecution over an alleged 30 million fraud involving the Ghana Export-Import Bank. That's EXIM Bank. Now, according to the state prosecution and investigations by Yoko, Chairman Wontumi, along with Wontumi Farms Limited, and an accomplice at large called Thomas Ntwibo, secured a credit facility from EXIM Bank between 2018 and 2022 under the guise of funding a large-scale industrial agricultural project. And this is according to the Ghanaian Times. Flip. My brother, my sister, this is Chairman Wontumi. He and one Thomas Ntwibo went and got the money, 30 million, for a ghost farm. A non-existent farm. Now, the prosecution asserts that the proposed farming operations were entirely fabricated and existed only on paper. Now, Wontumi allegedly failed to acquire the specified lands, build the farms, or employ the youth he claimed he would hire. Now, to secure or justify parts of the funding, Wontumi allegedly presented a fake receipt to EXIM Bank indicating a 4 million Ghana cedi payment to a supplier named Cass Sama Enterprise for heavy-duty earth-moving and farming equipment. Investigations discovered that the document was an altered pro forma invoice where the phrase pro forma invoice was manually replaced with receipt. The supplier later confirmed they never received payment. Rather than utilizing the capital for agri-businesses, the Attorney General's office states that Wontumi withdrew massive sums from the corporate accounts for personal luxury expenses and separate business ventures. Luxury. At a point, he told us that the necklace he was wearing could build a whole story building in Kumasi. Luxury. A village boy who all of a sudden found a way of stealing from the state. Now, the state has preferred 4 criminal counts against him to which he has pleaded not guilty. Watch this. Number 1, defrauding by false pretense. 2, altering a forged document. 3, money laundering. 4, intentionally causing financial loss to a public body. Now, while the initial fraudulent principal amount received sat around 14.3 million, compounding interest and state losses have pushed the active court case value to over 30 million. So the money he actually got from the bank was just over 14 million. My brother, my sister, put that in your head. We're going to return to this. The money he actually took from the bank was just over 14 million. But compound interest slapped on it, he's now supposed to be paying 30 million. We'll prove to you that he will even pay more of this. Hey, watch this. Now the plea bargain started. He went to court. After the NPP followed him to play the tomfoolery, supporting him blindly. Thieves always support thieves. They sat on the floor. People who call themselves honorables, dirty honorables, sat on the floor. My brother, my sister, in front of Iyoko, in front of the Parliament House, and all those places supporting Chairman Wontumi, only for Chairman Wontumi to put in a plea bargain. In July 2026, the case took a massive turn as Wontumi's legal team initiated a plea bargain negotiation with the Attorney General to avoid trial and settle out of court. Did you hear that? Hey, watch this. Now, on July the 27th, 2026, the Accra High Court, presided over by Justice Halima El Alawa Abdul Basit, granted a 30-day window for the state and the defense to finalize these plea negotiations. The case has been formally adjourned to August 27. Listen, 2026, and we'll tell you why. Now, this is interesting, and this is where we will pause. Simultaneously, Member of Parliament and prominent lawyer Samuel Atachia took over as lead counsel for Wontumi, replacing his previous lawyer, Andy Apiakubi. Dash it away. So this Apiakubi guy, you know, is, I don't know what he really wants to achieve. And with this kind of nasty record, I wonder how many people would keep hiring this man as a lawyer. A lawyer who is so cowardly. In fact, he develops cold feet at the least cold wind that blows. This is the guy. Andy Apiakubi. He has again decided to pull out of the case and push Atachia to go forward and do that. And today in court, my brother, my sister, we have some NPP bigwigs. You can call them the big goons, GOONS, or the big guns, depending on how you want to call them. They were in court. NPPs Osei, Che Mensabonsu, Nana Akomia, Miracles Abuaji, Kojo Ponkruma, and Samia Uku attend court in support of Wontumi in the EXIM Bank case. My brother, my sister, what did they go there for? Somebody who already wants a plea bargain. And today we're going to tell you exactly what he went to say at the plea bargain. And it's exclusive. Some of these guys, they don't have Ghana at heart at all. The friend of a thief is a thief. Anyone who supports the activities of a criminal is equally criminal. Right? My brother, my sister, now it's been proven beyond all doubt that Wontumi is a criminal, dirty criminal. He has destroyed our forest, killed our fauna to be able to pick up gold. My brother, my sister, now the EXIM Bank case is lingering right there in the air, waiting for another judgment against him, and this one will be parallel. My brother, my sister, parallel. Is he going to jail? Now, Andy Apiakubi was the one who started this plea bargain thing on behalf of Chairman Wontumi. They went to Iyoko. In fact, they actually went to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. The Zwarungu boy, the cigar chomping Zwarungu boy. His name is Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Ayini, the Stanford lawyer. This guy, dangerous guy. My brother, my sister. And when they went to him, He said, no, I'm not ready to cut any deals. Go to court. They went to court, and the court gave them the chance to go and have the plea bargain. And you know what happened? When they sat down with the Attorney General, come here. Come here. Now, Iyoko has always made it clear, for us to have any plea bargain, you have to accept that you are a dirty thief, you stole from the people of Ghana. 2, you have to pay every single penny that you took from EXIM Bank plus interest. Thirdly, you will be prosecuted for the fraud unless you come out and agree that yes, you are fraudulent. You know what Wontumi did? Allegedly, according to the office of the Attorney General, he used documents of a certain company that did not exist to secure the loan. May I break it down? He went to the bank, got the loan under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. When that man was in power, there was no law in Ghana. Everyone was just stealing left, right, and center. This guy here, with very little education, knew how to go to the bank, present documents of a certain company that did not exist, and was able to get the loan. After getting the loan, now he went to register the company. So the loan came before the company. It is only in Ghana that such criminal activities can happen, according to the office of the Attorney General. Now, Iyoko is looking for him to say, yes, I fraudulently did this, and I presented documents that were false. But he went there, and this was what he told the Attorney General, that he's ready to pay 12 million because the rest of the money, he used it for other things. You collected over 14 million of Ghana's money in the days of Nana Addo. Now, when investigators were asking you, you denied. No comment. I don't know about this. Investigators spent time and energy to go under your skin, investigate, and come up with the hard facts, show to you and your lawyer. And when you realize that you have nowhere to go, you said, okay, right now I agree. But you know what? I'll rather give 12 million. And Attorney General made it clear. As it stands right now, you are supposed to pay 30 million. And accept that you have been fraudulent. You are a thief. That is what Wontumi is not ready to accept right now as it stands. And Apia Kubi is out of the game. Now Atachia has come in. They've given them all the way up to the last week of August to be able to return to the courts and tell the courts that, oh, we've been able to strike a deal with the Attorney General. For Iyoko, I can tell you, is not ready to cut deals. If Wontumi has to go in for 7 million years, he will go there, no mercy. Attorney General, my prayer is that he will stick to the guns and look at Ghana first. Wontumi has had this time. He has enjoyed all the luxury. Today they appeared in court. Yes, the lawyers were in court. Our cameras were also there. My brother, my sister, look at them. It was a very beautiful time. Wontumi is already in there for 20 years. So it has brought a lot of tensions down. And then Atachia himself came, now representing Chairman Wontumi in the EXIM case. And you just saw Dr. Slemsai standing right there, my brother, my sister, ready to go in again and push Wontumi into another bout of prison experience. Atachia spoke. And what did he tell journalists about this EXIM Bank thing? Watch this.
To the court was, in the first instance, you are not kind to say that I'm a lucky man. I think put more work on my shoulders. But essentially, The judge agreed, and Honorable Deputy Attorney General Service House agreed that you attempt a plea bargain and then come back to the court and announce it. So we'll take up that initiative and see whether we can broker a deal, and that matter will come to an end. So that is what happened. But relating to the Edubuain case, Cromwell, who was the last witness and investigator for the Attorney General, is still in the box. And today he made several concessions. I didn't understand the national security space. And I begin to wonder, I don't have to say so many times, how can you investigate the national security when their matters are clandestine, when they do undercover operations, when they have even operatives functioning in banks? How can you come to terms with a space that you don't understand? And why should we use your ignorance to send somebody to jail? So this is where we are. Tomorrow is a good day for the judiciary, so it won't come. But Wednesday we'll continue with it and see how it pans out. But it's very, very unfortunate. He made several applications. I didn't understand the national security arrangement.
Council, let me draw you back a little on, still on Wontumi. The party says it's taking over all of Wontumi's cases. Does that translate to the Tananimiri case as well? Will you be taking over as counsel for Wontumi in that matter as well?
Yes, indeed. And all the cases associated with Wontumi have taken over, and then we'll see how we prosecute them.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
This is Samuel Atachian, my brother, my sister. And you heard him. He took the opportunity to talk about the Edubuain case. Today we won't go into it. We will look at it tomorrow. In fact, he is the most uncomfortable lawyer in the world as it stands right now, and I don't envy him at all. His client is already in jail for 20 solid years. The next few clients are on their way to join Chairman Wontumi in there from the way things are going. My brother, my sister, they say if you don't know what death is, just look at what sleep looks like. Now, Atachian has taken over all the cases of Chairman Wontumi. As ordered by Bawumia, the NPP legal team has taken over all the cases of Wontumi, and it will be time, my brother, my sister, for justice to be delivered in a splendid way. Let me close on this. When Wontumi was going to court, none of these guys, Oseche Mensa, or Ponkruma, Samia Wuku, and all those guys, none of them ever made time to go and see Wontumi. But they all had the time to drive several tens of miles to Nsawam prison to greet him. That continues to remind me of the African proverb. A friend who lives just a street away from your home finds it very difficult to come and visit you. But he will travel several hundreds of miles to your funeral and to your burial. This is what is happening to Chairman Wontumi. Chairman Wontumi wants to pay 12 million when he actually took over 14 million, and interest has compounded so that the case will be over. And you heard Atachian, he doesn't even want to fight it in court. They want to have a case that will not have any trial. To avoid trial, they are ready to pay 12 million. Attorney General said, no, we are not interested in that. We want the full amount. We want Wontumi to accept guilt, and it will be in his records that he is a criminal, a fraudster. That is the only way Iyoko would say, oh, we can take the plea deal now. Or else, they will go to trial and push the facts, which Wontumi and his lawyers know that these are airtight facts out of a serious investigation. As for Chairman Wontumi, wow, dash. This is what nobody is able to tell you. What exactly Wontumi is saying he will pay, and what Iyoko under the Attorney General wants, and we have brought it to bear. My brother, my sister, it looks like it's going to be another interesting trial. Unless Wontumi agrees that I am already in jail, let us just accept this. In fact, he is now going to pay about 40 million Ghana cedis. From the last time that it was 30 million, compound interest has been slapped on it and it has even increased. Wontumi is truly in trouble. It's the black pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power.